Director of IFS at 35, Services Director of Microsoft at 36, General Manager of MIT and COO at 37. And then I just walked away from it all. Gave up my corporate career. I started again from zero. No salary, no office, no desk, no car, no fancy title, absolutely no guarantee that it would work. So if you feel like you're starting from zero, while others actually have built up their lives and they're racing ahead, this video is for you. If you want to start again from zero, or you feel like you're pushed into it and you're starting from zero, this video is for you. Welcome to my channel, Learning with Sanjeev. I'm so happy and grateful that you're here with me once again. We're going to be talking about some really important stuff. So keep it quiet, okay? So at the age of 36, I had everything that most people dream of. I was Consulting Services Director of IFS. IFS is a multinational company overlooking whole of South Asia. Great, right? Then I got bored with that job. Got a new job at Microsoft, heading the services division for Sri Lanka. Yeah. Great job, Microsoft. Heading the services division of Sri Lanka. 36. Yeah. Got bored with that job. Joined MIT. Yeah. As the GM of the Telco division. That was great. But then the company decided to close the division down. Offered me some other jobs. Didn't want to lose me. I stayed a while. But I kept feeling there's something else in life. There's something else I need to do. It's not really what I want to be doing. So left it all. Titles were impressive. Salary was really great. Yeah. A lot of perks. Vehicle. All of that. Yeah. I felt I needed something more. Needed to do something more with my life. Something more meaningful. Something with a bigger impact. Something that gave me freedom. So left it all. With nothing to fall back on. No fail-safe. No parachute. Yeah. Very scared. Also with a very good idea of what I could do. Belief in myself. So walked away and suddenly no longer director. Again. Just, well, it's like starting my first job again, right? Nothing. Zero. No one teaches you how to handle that because you're starting from zero. And especially if you're like almost 40, like I was, can be quite scary. So according to the American Psychological Association, over 70% of people experience at least one major career shift or life reset by age 40. So for most people, it is a big deal. Can't handle. Yeah, can't handle. What do we do? Yeah, I went through something exactly like that. But here it was more to do with my choice. But maybe you could say that the companies forced me to do that as well. But I think ultimately it was my choice as well. Yeah, leaving the corporate sector was difficult. Yeah, because if I stayed there, I could have done really well in the corporate life. Yeah, kept going up the ladder. Right, definitely there would have been global roles. Yeah, definitely. So leaving was hard, but what followed was even harder. I had self-doubt. I know I told you earlier, I had belief in my own capabilities, yes. But you had that belief, but something else on the other side tells you, what if it doesn't work? What if no one wants you? What if you can't make it work? What if you can't earn money? What are you going to do? Problems. I questioned everything. Did I just throw away everything I had worked for? Because I had a first class in IT. Yeah. What if I fail? What will people think? And so then I started what I'm doing now, doing training programs for organizations. Lots of times I would call up people, try to talk to them about my programs, try to set up a meeting. People would not return the calls also. I plan a program, right? Advertise it, go and do the program. Only 5 people, 10 people in the audience. Yeah. That's how it all started. Lots of months, no idea where the next paycheck is going to come from. How are we going to live? How are we going to earn? But I had one belief that it would happen. It would come. It would come for sure. Right? It would come for sure. I never had a doubt that the money would come. And we started this in 2008. Up to now, 2025, we have been fine. Even through all the COVID years, we have been fine. Yeah. But with all of that, sometimes this doubt still comes back in and says, what if you had stayed? Yeah. Sometimes I might see a friend of mine, one of my colleagues, previous colleagues. Yeah. When I was a manager, this guy was still an executive, but now the guy is, board level director of a large company. And then you think, okay, did I make the right decision? What if I stayed? What if I stayed? Yeah, you're behind, others are doing better. So comparison kills confidence, right? Comparison kills confidence. Because you look at it, if you compare yourself to others, there are always others who are going to be doing better. Always, for sure, right? Yeah. And when you compare yourself to others, there will always be others who are doing worse than you. So your race should not be with someone else. Your race should be you versus you. Are you doing better than you were last year? If so, great. Keep moving forward. So according to the LinkedIn Workforce Confidence Index, which they did in 2023, they found that nearly 60% of professionals say they feel behind in life compared to their peers. 60%. That's because of all the comparison happening. Yeah. Comparison is a good thing. You look at someone else and think, that's great. I feel really happy for that guy. Yeah. I can do that too. Yeah. Compare with others and get inspired by what they're doing and then move ahead. But you compare with others and think, what am I doing? Let's run our own race. You run your own race, I'll run my own race. Yeah. So why do we stay stuck? Yeah. Starting again from zero and we can't move forward. We're stuck. So according to Martin Seligman, he came up with a concept called learned helplessness. So when we try and fail, we start believing that no point putting in any effort, no point working hard, because we are going to fail. Yeah. So I'm helpless. And lots of people feel that way, right? What can I do? As long as the government is like this, what can I do? As long as my boss is like this, what can I do? Yeah. As long as my family is like this, what can I do? So it's what can I do? Learn helplessness. I'm helpless. So as long as you feel you are helpless, nothing is going to change because we are helpless. I can't help myself. What can I do? You understand? Right? So are we victims of circumstances or creators of circumstances? We need to be creators of circumstances. No matter what happens, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do and move ahead. So if we are helpless because we have learned to be helpless, even when new opportunities come, we don't take them because we've trained ourselves to think no point, nothing is going to work, and then we give up. So remember, most of the time, these are stories that we are telling ourselves that we are helpless, that we can't do this, that we can't move ahead. There's no point trying because I failed once. I will fail again. Yeah, for sure you're going to fail. For sure I'm going to fail. But don't look at it as failure. Look at it as feedback. Look at it as learning. So even though we fail, fine, so get up and go again. Yeah, like Sylvester Stallone said in the movie Rocky, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. What matters is how fast do you get up and fight again. So especially in the South Asian culture where I'm from, and I guess some of you may be as well, where success is tied to job titles, how big the car is, how big the house is. Yeah, starting over again can feel like failure, but it's not. Think about Warren Buffett. Yeah, at one point I think the third richest man in the world. Still lives in the same house that he has been living in for the last 35 something years. Still drives the same car that he has been driving for, I don't know, so many years, maybe 20 years. Because he doesn't feel that his image depends on his car or his house. Yes, but if we feel, okay, I'm starting again from zero, people might think I'm a failure, we might feel ashamed, then what happens? People might hide, you might pretend to be something you're not, we might freeze, and they stay stuck even when they want to move forward. So starting from zero doesn't matter. Yeah. Even multi-billionaires, even people like Donald Trump actually went bankrupt once. And he said, yeah, I know how I got here once before. I know the path to take. so I can take it again. I know the road. I did it once, I can do it again. So starting from zero, no big deal. Let's do it. There was a businessman in Sri Lanka during the ethnic troubles, during the riots, the 83 riots, right? He lost everything. He lost his business, he lost his house. Yeah. And somebody asked him, so what are you going to do? I did it once, I can do it again. Started again from zero and built up his business once again to a huge company that it is today. You can do this. So how do we rebuild from zero? So there's a very interesting theory called the post-traumatic growth theory. This theory says that most people who experience major setbacks report higher meaning, higher strength, and higher growth afterwards. Most people who experience major setbacks get over it. And to get over it and move forward, say that they have higher meaning, higher growth, higher results, higher strength than before. Isn't that awesome? We have to start. Yeah, starting from zero. But let's start and let's move forward. So, step one, redefine what zero means. Is zero actually zero? So when I started again, I started my own company in 2008. Was I starting really from zero? No. I was starting with 16 years of experience. I had no title, but I had 16 years of experience. Gone through so much of stuff, learned so much of stuff, handled so many different situations, built up a network. So is it really zero? No, right? Step one, redefine what zero means. Is zero really zero? And you'll find it's not. Step two, make sure your purpose is clear. Like Simon Sinek said, start with why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? So your why must be stronger than your fear. So for me, my why is helping people to reach their divine potential, helping people to become the best version of themselves they can be. And that's a very, very inspirational, strong, big, huge why. Yeah? Which makes me want to get up each day in the morning, move forward. The why is strong. So I didn't start my business to be rich. I started it to teach, to impact lives, build something meaningful, help people. And that has kept me going even through the hard months. So for many of the beginning years, I did lecturing at different universities. I started doing my choirs. I started teaching teens, right? Helping them change their personality through music. And I look back and I see how many people's lives I have actually touched. That's awesome, right? Very, very shy girls, yeah, who wouldn't even smile, ended up taking up leadership roles, maybe becoming prefects of the school. Fantastic. Doing really well in life. When I look back and think I had some role to play there, I helped in some way. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's my why. What's your why? Step three, create a simple win every day. So each day, do something, move forward, even a little bit, even a little bit. Like Darren Hardy said, yeah, the compound effect. We keep moving forward. Suddenly things are going to be, wow, spiraling out. So one small act of progress builds belief. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And keep a journal. Write down all the good things that happen. You'll be amazed. Because lots of times we forget the good things. I was just thinking a few days ago of lots of deals that we got without us really trying and moving out and, canvassing and marketing, where the companies came to us. Isn't that awesome? Lots of things for me to be grateful for. Create a simple win every day. Do your proposals, make your calls, keep moving forward. Momentum is more important than perfection. As we keep moving forward, you'll make mistakes, that's fine, but keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. Yes, step four, get people to support you. Not financially, but create a, what shall we call it? Maybe a circle of belief. Surround yourself with people who are going to, cheer you on, encourage you, right? Don't, associate with the naysayers. The naysayers are, you can't do this, Sanjeev. Oh, what a shame you gave up your corporate job. Yeah, it's going to be so difficult. Keep those people aside. Go with the people who say, Sanjeev, you can do this. You can do this. Find at least 2, 3, 4 people who are going to encourage you, because you need that encouragement. So in your hardest moments, their belief in you can actually keep you strong. Yes. Step 5, own your story. It's your story. I'm owning my story. It's my story. Did I make wrong choices? Well, it depends on how I define right and wrong. It's the label that I put on it. But it was my choices. I can be proud of that. So it's my story. So when I actually started from zero, it wasn't really from zero, because it had 16 years of hard experience in there. I've done many things in that 16 years that most people may not even do at any point of their life, right? Isn't it awesome? So my story isn't perfect. It's not over, it's still going on, but it's mine. Every piece of it, even the fear, even the doubt, even the starting over, has actually made me who I am now. It's great. It's great. So today, my company and I, we have helped more than 21,000 people across 24 countries. And that's awesome, right? Isn't that awesome? What do you think? Yes? Give me a comment. Is that awesome? Yeah? I think so. I think it's great. And everything I feared I lost actually became the fuel for what I built. If I didn't leave the corporate sector, could I have influenced so many people? Probably not. Because I wouldn't have had the time to do everything else that I actually did. I wouldn't have had the time to build up these choirs, to take these kids overseas for competitions, to help them change the beliefs they have about themselves, to help them succeed in life. I wouldn't have been able to. I wouldn't have had the time. So I would have been in the corporate, yes. I would have been very successful for sure, but it was a different path. Would I have touched so many people? Probably not. So was that my purpose? Is this my real purpose? Yeah, is this what I was put on this planet for? Maybe. So if you feel behind, if you're starting from zero, don't worry. Remember, you are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are rebuilding yourself, maybe into something even better than you ever were. Right? Maybe this is your true purpose. Maybe this is the reason you were put on this planet. Maybe finally you're getting the opportunity to live your true purpose. So if you're starting from zero, don't worry. Look at it as a blessing. Yeah, you're getting an opportunity to start again. The greatest chapters of your life when you look back won't be where everything went right. The greatest pride you will have would be when you look back and you say, I got knocked down, but I got up. I got up again. I moved forward. So remember, you're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. You're starting from wisdom. You're starting with a lot of hard knocks, which has made you stronger. You're starting with a network. You know people. If you've been around like I had for 16 years in the corporate sector, you know people. So if you're starting from zero right now, like I was some years ago, put a comment in there. Yes, I'm rebuilding my life. Yes, I'm rebuilding and I'm happy. I'm rebuilding and I'm happy. Let's make it happen, guys. Let's move forward together. And tell me, what's our next chapter going to be about? So thanks a lot for joining me for this video. I hope it helped you. Especially if you're starting from zero, how do you move forward? I hope it encouraged you and inspired you. Yeah, do reach out if you want to talk to me. If you feel I can help you in some way. It's been really great having you with me for this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Sanjeev. Have an awesome day, okay? Keep in touch.